Hello everyone, so I'm back again. New location, as you can see. I'm kind of playing around with all of that, but finally I'm giving you guys chapter 5 titled The Perfect Relationship from The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. Already messing up his name because that's how long it's been since I've been recording. But yeah, I'm just going to hop right into it, all right? Also, I guess I'll add a little side piece. I've been gone for a few weeks because I've just been busy rebranding for this channel and just getting certain things on the side together. I got a new position at a place called, or not a place, but a recording studio called Soundtrack. We record film, television, advertisements, and I think that's it. We do music as well. You know, we've done certain albums such as Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and you know, Biggie Smalls, some of his albums, a whole bunch of things. Sorry, excuse me. But it's my dream position. I'm so happy I'm here, and I'm extremely thankful. It just feels like the universe literally just put it in my lap and knew what I wanted and granted me my wish. So I'm right where I want to be, and I hope to one day in some time be an audio engineer, mixing audio as well as visuals for film. But like I was saying before, let's just hop right back into the book. Okay, so chapter 5, The Perfect Relationship, starts with him basically comparing a human relationship with a dog versus, you know, a human-to-human relationship. And he basically is trying to express that when it comes to a dog is going to love you regardless. Whether you're in a sad mood, you're in a mad mood, whatever you come in as when you walk into your home, your dog is more than likely going to do the same thing that it does every single day, which is, you know, run up to you, want to get pet, hugged, all that. It still comes to you with happiness, kind of similar to what I was expressing in the previous videos about kids automatically knowing how to express themselves freely without these restrictions or wounds that we create. So in the beginning of chapter 5, he keeps bringing this point up because that dog doesn't care how you are for the day. They don't care what type of emotion you're sitting in. They're automatically happy to see you. They're accepting you for who you are, which is what every living being is supposed to do. We're supposed to accept somebody for who they are, and that's that, and not change them for anything else. So, I'm not going to read this entire excerpt, but this is something that I highlighted that really resonated with me. In this little excerpt, you know, he's pretty much saying what I just said. And one thing that I underlined that I thought was important to take out of this paragraph was, you need to be completely honest with yourself, to say what you want, and see if you're willing to dance or not. So he said the whole dancing thing because another thing, one last thing that I read from this paragraph, to try to change them to fit what you want them to be is like trying to change a dog for a cat or a cat for a horse. That is a fact. So they are what they are. The person that you're with or dating, they are who they are. You can either dance and enjoy it or not dance and walk away. You are in control of what you accept into your life. Like I had mentioned previously about us having complete control at the end of the day. We don't have control over the other person, but we have control over ourselves. And there's a part of that within this chapter as well that I'll get more into later. The one who loves you just the way you are. And I know that quote is basic and most of us know what he's saying when he says that. But I guess this touched me so much because it's true. Like, we're out here and we're trying to find our person. You're not trying to just grab somebody that you find attractive, that you're infatuated with, and try to force something or make something what it is not. And a lot of us get caught up in that, myself included. You get infatuated with this person, you're all into it, it's hot, it's steamy, the passion is there, but you're overlooking all of these things. And the main point, or what's most important, is that you both are accepting each other for who you are. Because once that is in place, then you can be who you are, and you're going to continue to project this air about you that is going to allow the things that you want in your life to come into your life, and that is fact. You know, if you're not going to be who you truly are and you're not going to project who you truly are, you're not going to receive what you truly want. And that works for everyone in this world. Also, I wanted to add to that, in addition to what I just said about the one who loves you is going to love you for exactly who you are. It's simple, you know, because if someone wants to change you, it just means that they don't want you. And if they don't want you, why are they with you? Why are you trying to make something work that's clearly not supposed to work, or at least not in that moment? And I think a lot of people have some fears when it comes to that. I think, you know, we tried to build this person because maybe we're giving up too soon on the relationship, this, that, and the third, which I think in a lot of cases is true. And that's tied to other things that I've mentioned before, you know. You see that you can accept somebody for who they are, you can't. So I like to choose my battles, but don't allow that fear get in the way. Like, don't think that you're being stupid or foolish for ending something that just doesn't feel right, even if it's in the very beginning stages, because 9 times out of 10, not even 9 times out of 10, period, what is meant to be will be. If somebody is meant to be a part of your life or in your life, they're going to be naturally, especially if you're choosing to be who you are. So, you know, going based off of what I just said like 2 seconds ago, this is a perfect paragraph in which he pretty much says what I said and sums it up better than me. That's why he's the author. He says, you can see what it is you are buying and you either want it or you don't. Buying as in, you know, you're the buyer and you're at a market and you're trying to select your person. And that can go any which way. But you cannot blame the other person for being a dog or a cat or a horse. If you want a dog, then why are you getting a cat? If you want a cat, why would you get a horse or a chicken? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's simple. Don't try to pick up something and as soon as you see those red flags or you just see certain things that you have a really good feeling are not going to be habits that will change, it's probably time to go, turn around. And that can be really hard to distinguish also, red flags, but I always like to say, go with your intuition, go with your gut. Sometimes, most times, people ignore their gut and their intuition because the truth is extremely painful and there are certain things that we just cannot accept. But in the long run, it's always best to walk away if the person is not meeting your standards, period. And we all know this, but you can recite something a million times and people will still fuck up, feel me? You know, to bring more ease into the situation, because I'm sure there's gonna be somebody out there who's like, well, how do I, you know, heal these wounds and how do I basically become the person that I'm meant to be without anger, without all these things that are holding us back? How do I do that while dating and blah, blah, blah? Or how am I supposed to feel, or how do I go about it when a relationship doesn't work, or when somebody that I thought was gonna be a chicken ended up being a horse? He says, if the choices are not working well, you do not blame yourself. You simply make another choice. So that's something that I personally struggle with, and I think I'm pretty sure many others do too, is, you know, when you go through a breakup or an ending or something like that, you're spending all this time trying to figure out what you did wrong, when what you really should be doing is just simply making another choice. You do not blame yourself. You recognize what that relationship was, and if you let it go respectfully, then that showed that in some way, shape, or form, you actually did care for that person, because now you're allowing both of you to find what you were supposed to find. And it can hurt at first, but that is love. That is respect. You know, a lot of people love to hold on to their ex after making a break. With many fears of them finding somebody else, but I particularly notice those who end a relationship are even more insecure about that happening, their partner finding somebody else, somebody that they didn't even want, somebody that they decided did not resonate with them or their life, still holding on to this person. That's not love. That's selfishness. That's fucked up, quite frankly, period, and pathetic. Because if you were really strong in your decision, you shouldn't be hovering over my life. And you're just proving to me that maybe the love wasn't there. So that's my little rant on that little section. Anyway, let's continue. So this kind of gets interesting because he also mentions this need for people to, like I've said before, have their partner be perfect, or maybe I didn't bring that up before, but this need to fix certain little things, this need to try to turn your relationship into this fantasy that you have already imagined in your head. That's really dangerous because it's similar to putting on the rose-tinted glasses. If you're entering this relationship with a certain idea in your mind, it's automatically going to fail. It's going to fail because that's not who that person is. They are who they are, and they're bringing themselves to the table. And whatever it is that you see, you make the decision as to whether or not you like it. So he says, you don't need to be responsible for your dog to make it be a dog. And what he's saying by that is, are you the perfect person? Is your partner the perfect person? No, nobody is perfect. Just like the dog isn't perfect, but you love that dog the same. You love that dog regardless of what it's bringing to the table, because for whatever reason, that dog doesn't need to do the most. You have automatically from the jump accepted them for who they are. And that's why the relationship works so well. That's why you love your dog so much and your dog loves you. It's the same concept that you have to place on human beings that you enter into your life or allow to come into your life. Either you like what you see and you're going to accept it for what it is, or you don't want anything to do with it. And the best option is to want nothing to do with it, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to fail if you try to pursue something that you know is not your cup of tea or on your menu. Feel me? So I'm going to read through a bunch of quotes that resonate to what I was just saying or talking about in regards to how you should go about finding your person, how you should project a certain energy about you, all that jazz. So the first quote, he is saying, if you see what you want, why not take a risk? But if you see it is not what you want, you know you are going to pay for it. Don't go around crying, my lover abuses me, when it was so clear for you to see. Don't lie to yourself. Don't invent in people what is not there. And disclaimer, obviously, if you're in an abusive relationship or a verbally abusive relationship, any kind that is hurting you in any kind of way, this does not pertain to you. Clearly, your lover was an abuser and did not love you properly, and in that situation, you just walk away. There's no trying to understand it, explain it. It's a process. I can relate and I understand, but that's not okay. But this is just for a run-of-the-mill relationship that is just not working. The next quote says, when you pretend to be what you are not, you are always going to fail. Like I was saying earlier, if you don't project what you want within yourself, like if you don't project what you truly are as a person, you're not going to attract who you want in a person. You're not going to attract your partner if you are pretending to be somebody that you're not, because that's never going to last, and eventually the mask is going to come off, period. Don't be selfish. Give your partner the opportunity to find what she really wants, and at the same time, give yourself the opportunity. This is respect. Self-explanatory. Have the courage to go forward 100% or let it go. Let go of the past and begin every day at a higher level of love. This will keep the fire alive and make your love grow even more. I kind of want to backtrack with that specific quote. He is, talking about how you can make the current relationship that you're in continue to thrive. And I appreciate what he's saying before that too. He's saying, you don't have to have attachments to the past. All of us can change, and it can be for better. This is a new beginning for you to forgive whatever happened between you and your partner. Let it go, because it was nothing but personal importance. It was nothing but misunderstanding. It was nothing but someone being hurt and trying to get even. It's not worth whatever happened in the past to spoil the possibility that you can reach heaven in a relationship. I love that he says that, because it's true. Like, let go of the past. Let go of all that shit. Don't try to analyze it over and over and over in your head. It was what it was. It is what it is. Move the fuck on. It's over. It wasn't of no importance. It was only important to whoever is still holding on to it for ridiculous reasons that are tied to jealousy, anger, all those things that we don't want to feel and that we honestly shouldn't strive to feel in this lifetime. So the last point that I want to speak about in regards to chapter 5 is kind of aligned to what I mentioned in one of my previous videos. I forget which chapter it was, but how I mentioned that you're responsible for your world and somebody else is responsible for their world, or something along those lines, and how every single individual lives their own truth and lives in their own world pretty much. The end of chapter 5 is him pretty much saying that, but getting a little bit more intimate when it comes to a person-on-person relationship or whichever relationship you are in. And he says that your garbage is your garbage. Just like your world is your world, your pain, your wounds, all of that, all the messiness that pulls relationships down, that's your responsibility, not your partner's. And a lot of people, lots and lots of people, make the mistake in thinking that a relationship or love is going to make their life happier. And it works at first, but it's not a long-lasting thing. Like I've said, and many have said over and over and over again, and they're going to continue to say if they're smart over and over and over again, is happiness and love come from within. You have to love yourself, and you have to be happy within yourself and happy with yourself in order to have a successful relationship, because that person is not always going to be there. And even if they are going to be there for years, as morbid as this is going to sound, somebody is going to die. Everything comes to an end, whether it's done physically on this earth or somebody passes on and goes on to the next life. Everything comes to an ending. So it's important that you're comfortable being alone by yourself, because at any moment people can go. Even people who you think you've created this strong bond with, the next year you may not really hear from them. People change so drastically and so often. So I really respect and appreciate when he mentions the whole half and half part, because I think people who will be interested in reading this book would have a clearer insight or understand it more fully, what it really means to be one within yourself and to love yourself wholeheartedly. And he's also mentioned within the end of the chapter, you know, when you're with someone, especially if you're dealing with somebody who has who's dealt with depression, things of that nature, the relationship is not going to grow, or it doesn't get better when you decide to meet them at their unhappiness. You can't do that. Well, you can, but you shouldn't do that. I've done that personally, and it's not healthy. The best option is for you to maintain your happiness, and then hopefully your happiness will lift them up and make them a little happy. I'm not saying that that's a guaranteed force of action, but that's the better option for a relationship, is for you guys to recognize that both of your individual pains, your baggage, are your personal baggage. You heal your wounds, I heal my wounds, and then we come together and try to make this a beautiful thing. But I'm not going to come over there and try to clean up your mess. That's never going to happen, and that's not going to work out. So yeah, I know this was probably kind of rushed and kind of all over the place, but it was a pretty quick chapter. I might have missed some things, but then again, you know, I'm trying to create like an audio type of SparkNotes, so I think I go way more into detail than SparkNotes, or at least I will be if this ain't it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please please subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to make some changes over here, and 2019 is the year that I really want to be consistent, do the damn thing, and just kind of have fun with my creativity and art. And I love books. So all you book lovers out there, if you continue to check out my channel, see what's goody, I'm going to keep posting these. So yeah, check me out again next week when we talk about, I do this every single time. Every time, y'all, I forget to pull up the next chapter. Oh, okay. Tune in next week for the next chapter called The Magical Kitchen. Bye.